Good evening and a very warm welcome to you, wherever you may be. Thank you for joining us on the Geelong Region Soccer Show. My name is Tonshi Prusak and it is my absolute pleasure to be with you here tonight. And joining me here, as he does week in, week out, the man, the legend, Steve Curtin. Steve, good evening and how are you? And very warm welcome to you.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Tonchi, and hello to you and hello to all of our viewers at home. We hope you enjoy tonight's episode. We think it's going to be a pretty good one, and it's been a pretty good day across Geelong, but unfortunately we were stuck inside working while it was nice and sunny outside and maybe a little bit smoky as well, perhaps. But we're looking forward to this show. How are you, mate?
Mate, I'm just trying to catch my breath. This year has gone absolutely like lightning fast. And that weekend just gone by, like you just blinked and it went past. But how gorgeous was the weather? I'm tipping yesterday was probably the last kiss of summer before we start to experience some cold weather. I hope I'm wrong. I'm never afraid to say I hope I'm wrong, and I hope I'm proven wrong. But yesterday was an absolute gorgeous day. So too was Saturday, and there was some brilliant football action played over the weekend, which we're going to cover tonight. And big shout out to the Elephant and Castle. Once again, they've come to support the Geelong Region Soccer Show. And they will be, as always, they've nominated Corio Soccer Club, and we will be featuring Corio Soccer Club a little bit later on in tonight's show. They are the club in focus. So a big shout out to all the folk at the Elephant and Castle. Is that in East Geelong or South Geelong? Where does the border end and where does the border start?
It just slides within the Geelong central area, actually, because Garden Street is the boundary. That's just inside there. So, Elephant and Castle in Geelong. It has the best trivia night in Geelong as well. So that's definitely my favourite trivia night in town. It's pretty good as well to get along to. Overdue, actually. Need to go along.
Absolutely. They have some very, very good meals as well. So, folks, don't go away. We've got let's talk about what we've got tonight before we run off and hear some messages from our sponsors. But Steve, what have we got lined up in tonight's jam-packed show?
Yeah, well, coming up straight after the news at about 8:20, we've got the president from Corio Soccer Club, MARIO GREGORIO, joining us. So he's in the green room, looking forward to chatting with him, and he's looking forward to telling the stories about Corio and the big year that they've got ahead as they prepare for their first game at home for the season. And we've got one of their key attacking weapons, Lorenzo Princigalli, as well, and he's going to be joining us from around 8:35 or so, a little later after Mario. So couple of big guests there. Christian Bright was a late out. He's been subbed out and replaced by Lorenzo. So looking forward to chatting to both of those gentlemen. It's going to be a great show, I think, Tonchi.
It's a case of the double Italian stallions from Corio Soccer Club coming up a little bit after this break. But before we do go to the news desk, here's some short messages from our sponsors tonight. Don't go away, folks. You're tuning in to the Geelong Region Soccer Show.
Oysters, salmon, steak. Where in Geelong can you get great food from such a wide-ranging menu? Friendly staff, and a bar to enjoy drinks with friends. live music every Saturday night and every Sunday night, as well as live sport on the big screens every Friday night. Well, at the Elephant and Castle, of course, situated on 158 McKillop Street in East Geelong, the Elephant and Castle has everything that you will want and need when you decide to have a night out on the town. There is even a function space available in the heated undercover beer garden out the back. For more information on all of our upcoming events or to book online, click on the Book Now tab on the Elephant and Castle website at www.elephantandcastle.com.au.
All right, well, there we go.
Sorry, Steve, over to you, news desk.
Now let's kick off the news desk. Can we make item number one this new platform that we're using, Restream?
Yeah.
It looks all fandangled. We're in the 21st century. So if you're wondering why it looks a little bit different, that's what's happening tonight for the first time for the Geelong Region Soccer Show. We've got Tonchi doing the great job behind the panel there, pressing all the buttons and making everything happen so smoothly. They say men can't do two things at once.
Or
multitasking king of Lara, this
tell
gentleman
that to my wife.
here on the left of screen. All right, let's start with
on to serious stuff, mate. Speaking about the women, the A-League Women's Grand Final was held yesterday. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so Melbourne Victory going back-to-back. They had a sensational finals campaign, scraping into the finals in fourth place on goal difference, going over to Adelaide, getting a win there first, then beating Melbourne City, and then in the final yesterday, 2-1 winners over Sydney FC, and it was Amy Jackson, the veteran listed player now, just about. I think she's had a solid career, and she managed to find the score sheet with the satisfying goal for the Altona Meadows midfielder, and Catherine Zimmerman also on the score sheet for Victory as well, and it was Matilda Courtney Vine tightening things up with the 66th minute strike, but Victory did enough to hold on. They had to absorb a lot of pressure, but they got over the line with Sydney FC having 20 attempts at goal during that one. You can see the picture there. And of course, the Geelong link, Kyra Cooney-Cross playing in that game, getting her second A-League Women's Premiership title in as many seasons. And she, if I'm correct, supplied the assist for Amy Jackson's opener as well. So well done to one of our local girls, Kyra Cooney-Cross there. And of course, a great Matilda's midfielder that she is as well. I'm sure she's got a big year ahead after this particular triumph. So well done to the Victory girls.
Well done. Now, staying with the theme of the females, the women's, it was Nike FC Cup, round 4, I believe, on the weekend. Unfortunately, not good news for the Geelong teams.
Yeah, we couldn't get any wins for any of our Geelong sides there. So North Geelong Warriors, they faced off at the State Football Centre against Burundara Eagles. They went down 7-2 in that one. There was goals for Louisa Kump and Olivia Ortiz. Geelong Rangers, they ended up forfeiting their match and didn't travel up to Olympic Village, and Heidelberg United go through to the next round. And Geelong Galaxy United, well, we thought maybe they could get over the line against FV Emerging. It certainly wasn't ending up being the case there with the young side, FV Emerging from the NPLW, getting over the line with a sensational performance, 5-1, that match at the Lara Recreation Reserve.
Yeah, I think Emily Sutcliffe scored that lone goal for Geelong Galaxy United. We did speak yesterday on the Football Out West show. We did talk about the big difference in standard, I guess, between the NPLW and the VPLW, and then in turn the VPLW and State 1. And Geelong this year will have a representative in the VPLW through Galaxy United. They will have a representative in State 1, North Geelong Warriors, who newly promoted, State 2 with Lara United, and State 3, Geelong Rangers making their debut in the Metropolitan competition. So certainly the platform or the foundations are being set there for future prosperity, Steve. But as we can see through some of these results, there's just a big difference between some of the standard, and must also be said the Heidelberg 3-0 result there was a forfeit. So, it would have been I think there was one team in the NPLW that smashed another team. It was a South Melbourne.
South Melbourne with a 20-0 win in this round. So
scoreline.
not what you want to see. But look,
No.
let's look at on the bright side. And some of our clubs have had a good run in the cup so far.
They have
maybe outperformed what their expectations would have been going into it. And I'm sure their coaches will be happy with what they've seen going into the season and looking forward to seeing what our female clubs can do when they kick off their seasons, going around with a bit of good quality Sunday football to keep an eye out for this season. Looking forward to it.
Now, a big shout out to Santino Mamone. He's, I think, Corio's #1 ticket holder. I wouldn't be surprised. He's very active in the comment section, tagging a lot of people, tagging a lot of friends. So he's working overtime to really promote this show. Good on you, Santino. He has actually provided a bit of footage from Corio's senior men's game on the weekend. So we'll have a look at that a little bit later on. But we do ask all of our viewers, get active, become involved with the show, and put some of those comments up. It could be whatever you like, or
tag your mates in there, as Santino's doing.
As he's doing. He's doing a great job. Now, from the women, we're moving on to juniors. Some of the juniors, some of the youngest teams went travelling around the state.
Yeah, that's right. So we're off to Bendigo, and the scene was the Epsom Huntley Recreation Reserve. That picture there, of course, is taken at Myers Reserve, but that's the team from the Geelong Rangers who went and played in the under-13s, and they got some really good results on Saturday. Haven't heard the update on how they performed on Sunday. I think the Bendigo City side ended up getting the win in the under-13s according to their own Facebook page, but another really good tournament where people travel from far and wide, and a really good gala competition. It played in warm conditions up there at Epsom Huntley Rec Reserve, and I'm sure thoroughly enjoyed by all, and a good competition, and long may it prosper.
Yeah, known as the Boys and Girls FC. That is Pete Bradley's team, so they did very well. They will be playing up in the Metropolitan competition this year in the under-13s. They are the under-12 teams from last year that absolutely swept everything before it in the local competition. And also, speaking of local sides travelling, so the Surf Coast under-10s, there they are on the photo there. They also participated in the Boys and Girls FC tournament up in Bendigo. It was the first time that they'd done something like that and travel like that. So what a great experience it would have been for them. And dare I say for the parents as well, it's a real bonding experience going traveling away as a group, as a family unit, so to speak. So kudos.
Some of these are parents, they enjoy the weekend more than the players themselves. They all like to get together and make a bit of a night of it on the Saturday night, from what I hear. So well done to everyone who got along to Bendigo for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I was going to say more junior news with North Geelong juniors playing in the IND Cup at St Albans.
Yeah, so I was involved in this. My little boy was playing at this. So there's several North Geelong junior teams playing. There's one of I think that may be the under-13 team, and they're in the white kit there. Another great experience there, coming up against a lot of the Melbourne side. So this is a mini Croatian-backed tournament, Croatian community-backed tournament.
Looks like Melbourne Knights playing against them there.
Melbourne Knights, St Albans Saints, Dandenong City, Strathmore split. So it's a really good experience for a lot of these youngsters who probably have never played outside of Geelong. Some of them coming up from the mini Roos, just to get a feel for playing against some relatively aggressive sides from Melbourne, and it's sometimes their first taste of playing in quite let's call it non-mini Roos type scenarios. That's the under-12 Kangas team. So they played in the local competition last year and stepping up. So a great learning experience, and such a cultural day as well. Lots of food, lots of festivities, music, kids running everywhere, gelati trucks, coffee vans, you name it. So it's a great experience there for the young boys and girls, and indeed the parents as well. So that was the I&D Cup at St Albans, held over in beautiful conditions. I think
doesn't that pitch look good at Churchill Reserve in those pitches? It looked almost as good as the Chavapi rolls that come out of the canteen there, actually.
I was talking to a few club people there, and they were saying that on the Friday the grass was overgrown. It was like 20 centimeters tall, and they were really worried. But the council did come into it, and they mowed it and they fixed it up, and it was looking like absolute carpet. But can I just say, Steve, even just around town, the some of the pitches, particularly the ones that the City of Greater Geelong have been managing, let's call it that, are incredible. Myers Reserve were up there a few weeks back. Howard Glover Reserve is just absolutely stunning. Speaking of Howard Glover Reserve, I think we might even have some photos there of a game that was played on the weekend. You may be able to see the condition of the track, but some of the grass is just absolutely unbelievable.
Let's get that shot up there on the screen now. And if there is a delay, we can take some time to discuss that Colac Otway Rovers getting on the back of the Colac Herald as well, which is also a good achievement for them.
Yeah,
now, there's some footage there, or some stills? Should I say some stills of the match?
Some stills there of
players going hard at it.
Yeah, the Port Fairy Plovers there in purple, taking on our very own FC Leopold. Now that's a great story. The Port Fairy Plovers, they are playing the Warrnambool League, or is it the South Western Victorian Soccer Association League? Yeah. And they were a club that were, I spent quite a few, maybe decades in hiatus, but last year they were resurrected, and a great story. They play all their games, I think, in Warrnambool at the Harris Street Reserve there, because simply they don't have a field in Port Fairy. But mate, I've never been to Port Fairy. I've heard so many really nice things about it. Yeah.
It's one of my favourite towns to visit. It's got a very old town feel to it, at least by Australian standards. And you can go there, and it's particularly if it's off the real peak times, you can have a very nice and relaxing time just walking around the streets. There's not much traffic. There's some nice old shops, lots of pubs and cafes, hospitality places, and then the beach is very nice as well. So
great.
Yeah, I would recommend, if you're looking for somewhere for a getaway, not too far from Geelong, definitely strongly recommend Port Fairy. And as you say, it's a really good story. Hopefully we can see some more old clubs resurrected in these old towns, because I think people forget the history of football in this country, because a lot of British migration in that Port Fairy town there, particularly.
Right?
I think Irish, I think in particular. And
maybe that's why
they brought football and then it died. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And you did mention the Colac Herald, so you don't often find football on the back page of any of the newspapers, certainly not the local rag here down in Geelong, but look at that in today's edition of the Colac Herald. On the very, very back page, the Colac Otway Rovers, a great, well, I'm not going to call it a spread because it's the back page, but a great story there on the new Will Meadows, I think is Will Meaden or something like that. He is the new coach there at the Colac Otway Rovers. Not a big club, but certainly a proud club, and they've got big plans as well in years to come. But it's great to see football, the real football, on the back of a mainstream newspaper, and kudos to the Colac Herald for popping that on the back page of their rag. And that's the news. Mate, we might take a very, very short break. Look, when we return, I think what we'll do is we might look at all the results that all the games that took place on the weekend involving the NPL clubs and the State League clubs. So, folks, don't go away. We'll be back right away. Welcome back to the Geelong Region Soccer Show. It is episode 76, and tonight's episode proudly sponsored by Elephant and Castle. And Steve, we've got some great guests appearing on the show later tonight. Mario Gregorio, president of Corio Soccer Club, and also the senior men's team player Lorenzo Princigalli, and they will be part of the Corio Soccer Club feature in our Clubs in Focus. But let's now turn our attention to the NPL 2 and NPL 3 divisions played on the weekend and the results from those two matches, those two divisions, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it because it is a weekend to talk about it and to spruik because we got 2 wins. So, first of all, North Geelong Warriors in the NPL 2 got their first win of the campaign. 3-1 winners over the Moreland Zebras at Alco Park. Goals from Caleb Mikulic, Luka Jurkovic, and Abdigafar Omar finding the back of the net. So, a really good result for them. And you were actually at that game, Tonchi, briefly.
Yeah, I was. It was a very, very youthful North Geelong team. I was impressed immensely by the defence as well. A very young defensive side there, and the attack. They're going to look really dangerous. Luka Jurkovic and Caleb Mikulic, the ex-Melbourne Knight, who stepped down from the NPL competition. Both of those two players look just dangerous. Lockie McGrath looked dangerous on one of the flanks as well, and George Ellis and young Stosic, the two full backs as well, just playing out wide. Ryan Opperman, the veteran, he's the captain, he's the midfield general. He looks solid there in the middle of the park. All in all, a very good performance from North Geelong Warriors against a team that has probably had the wood on them in recent years, Moreland Zebras, but a good result at the end of the day. And just, an hour or so later down the road at Stead Park, we also saw...
Geelong getting the win, 1-0 over North Sunshine Eagles. A late penalty converted by Marvin Brauwieler. He was sending the keeper the wrong way and scoring, and then Geelong was good enough to hang on for their first win, also their first win of the season in that match played at Stead Park. So a really good result for Geelong, who've got a really big match against Preston coming up this Friday night.
Yeah, a Friday night football down at BT Connor Reserve.
Expecting a couple of thousand people at that one as well. So that's going to be a huge occasion.
Yeah, Preston have left off have continued where they left off last season, and sitting pretty at the top of the competition standings there alongside Western United's youth squad. Looking really good, those two teams, and I dare say they'd be the front runners for the competition title and certainly for promotion into NPL 2 next year. But now let's move our attention into the State League competition.
Yeah, so going down to State League 1, and it was Corio on the road, a little bit undermanned, a few players out of the team, and we'll come back to that later, but they still got a 2-2 draw at Yarraville Glory there at Mackay Reserve. Mackenzie Roach and Festim Almazi finding the back of the net. So points shared there in State League 1. And we'll move into, we'll just look at the table there briefly. There you go.
Yep.
State League 2 will go along to Geelong Rangers, who got a share of the points at home against a difficult opponent, Hume United. A double from Cole Hamilton, seeing them score a 2-2 draw there. So they get their first points of the season there. 1 point on the board there for Rangers.
One draw and one loss from their opening 2 games. So at the moment, they're sitting in 9th spot, but it is still early days yet. It's going to be a tough league, that one. There's a couple of teams, very, very, very difficult, very awkward opponents. And it is going to be a very, very competitive league, that one, without a shadow of doubt. State 4, we've got 3 Geelong clubs there. And, only one club did really well in that particular division, Steve.
Yeah, so Golden Plains, they went down 3-2 at home against Keilor Wolves with Mute Blue and James Dat finding the back of the net, but it still wasn't enough as they conceded 3 at the other end. And also Bell Park were at home but couldn't grasp any points against Melbourne City, losing 2-0. Better news for Surf Coast, who are our highest performing team in the men's state league so far from the region with 2 wins from 2. They beat the Truganina Hornets 2-0. Goals from John Serra and Jasko Ikanovic saw them getting the job done there. So well done to Surf Coast on their great start to the season.
And look at that. We love to see a Geelong side on top of the competition standings. Yes, it may be only round 2, but 2 wins from 2 games and a goal difference of 6 goals for, 1 goal against has Rob Panetta's side sitting pretty on top of the competition standings. So great to see Surf Coast on top of the State 4 ladder. Steve, I guess this is an opportune time to say that next week we will have as our club in focus the Coasters, the mighty Coasters from Surf Coast. They will be featured in next week's show. So hopefully we might get Rob or one of the senior team players to come on the show, and also their new president, Brett King, I think is his name. So we'll be hearing the new direction that Surf Coast is taking. They've also got a lot of off-field renovations and construction happening down at Banyul Warri Reserve. We'll find out all the latest with regards to that, and it's great to see a lot of the clubs in Geelong at the moment, including tonight's club in focus, having a lot of improvements to their facilities. So something to look forward to without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to State League 5. We've got
5.
some results from our clubs in that division. Now, we have got that score from Deakin Ducks. It's been hard to chase up. Now, that was a 2-0 win against Maidstone United, so well done to the Ducks getting that result. We haven't got any goal scorers for that one, but we can confirm that they got the result. It was missing off Sports TG earlier today, but there you go. Well done to them. Lara United, they were at home against Bendigo City, and they scored a 1-1 draw there with Lachlan Lazarich finding the back of the net in their clash in State 5. It wasn't so good for Surfside Waves. They went down 5-0 against West Point, that match at Shell Road Reserve. And one of their few teams who travelled away on the weekend was Barwon, expecting to maybe get a result against Wyndham FC at the Vic Uni Sporting Complex there. They went down 4-3 with goals from Alistair Kilpatrick, Milton Bailey, and Joseph Imbrogno. Not enough for them to get over the line after they conceded 4 at the other end.
That would be a bit of a disappointing outcome for Dale Harris's men. The Blue and Whites are the best performing team at the moment in State 5 out of the Geelong teams. Deakin University did capture 3 points, so that's not factored in that ladder or in that ladder that we see on the screen now. But their goal difference now is 0, so they're just slightly behind. They're in fact behind Ballarat there, so they're in 8th position. But it's not what we want to see. We want Lara now in 10th position, Surfside Waves in 12th position. So we want all of those Geelong teams to do much better. I guess the bright side is in State 5 there is no relegation, so they can't exactly be relegated. But at the same time, we do want those clubs to do really, really well, and for all of the Geelong teams to be doing exceptionally well. Still early days yet, Steve, though. Next week we've got round 3 this weekend coming. We've got round 3. Any big games coming up in that? I haven't had a chance to look at any of the fixtures, but we might have a look at the fixtures later on in the...
We'll have a look at those a little later in the show. Maybe we've got Mario. He's waiting to get on. He's been patiently waiting in the green room. We might have to bring him into the room.
We might have to, but before we do that, we're going to have a quick commercial break, folks. When we do return, it's the Club in Focus segment. Tonight's Club in Focus is the Corio Soccer Club, and we'll be speaking to their president, Mario Gregorio. Don't go away. You are tuning into the episode 76 of the Geelong Region Soccer Show.
Oysters, salmon, steak. Where in Geelong can you get great food from such a wide-ranging menu? Friendly staff and a bar to enjoy drinks with friends. Live music every Saturday night and every Sunday night, as well as live sport on the big screens every Friday night. Well, at the Elephant and Castle, of course, situated on 158 McKillop Street in East Geelong. The Elephant and Castle has everything that you will want and need when you decide to have a night out on the town. There is even a function space available in the heated undercover beer garden out the back. For more information on all of our upcoming events or to book online, click on the Book Now tab on the Elephant and Castle website at www.elephantandcastle.com.au.
Welcome back to the Geelong Region Soccer Show. It's episode 76 and our club in focus tonight, the Corio Soccer Club. And with that, a very, very warm welcome to Mario Gregorio, the president of Corio Soccer Club. Mario, great to have you on the Geelong Region Soccer Show for the first time in 2022. How are you? Oh, We can't hear him. What's happening with his? Hello there. You might have to. Have you muted yourself?
Well, it's just one or two issues. We might just play the elevator music until he comes in.
While we do that, we've got a little bit of footage from the Corio versus Yarraville game, and we'll try and rectify that audio situation. Yep. Here's some footage from that game. Okay, looks like we may have Mario Gregorio back. Mario, are you there?
Okay, we're not getting any audio still. It's a little bit strange. It was working perfectly
It was working perfectly, yeah. Yep. And we'll hopefully try and get Mario to come back on, maybe to log off and then log back on. Everything was working fine before. We just can't seem to get it for whatever reason. But unfortunately, that just how it is. Sometimes we get those little niggles or whatever you want to call it, I suppose. But maybe we'll just play that video again from the Corio game. There we go. So we'll be able to talk over the top of this one. Thank you to Mario and to Santino Mamoni for the providing this footage. Really appreciated there. And as we can see, look, these are just some highlights from the game held over the weekend. This was at McIver Reserve. And hopefully we've got Mario there. Mario, are you there? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We finally got him now.
Loud and clear, mate.
Welcome to the show, Mario. First of all, talk us through Saturday's game. We've got a little bit of footage here on the screen against Yarraville. I still call them Yarraville Glory, Yarraville FC. How was it? How was it from your point of view as the president watching the game?
Yeah, look, we knew it was going to be tough with 3 players out with the virus, and also our coach Christian Brightoff with the virus. Yep. But look, we're confident with the players coming in. We brought in Corio Gabriel, the new player that we got from Port Melbourne 21s, and Mackenzie Roach, the Canadian, and also young 17-year-old Thomas Dimitrovsky came into the side as well. So tough game. Happy with the result 2-2 though. It was good.
And pretty tricky without Christian Bright being there. How did you go about managing the squad? Who took the reins of talking to the players, or did you get him up on the phone, or what did you do there?
Yeah, no, we've got a very competent assistant coach in Tony Lettieri. Tony was previously involved at an MPL junior level for Irby. And he's very calm.
Yep.
You know, he's got me in his ear all game, but I try to keep control. I'm very passionate about it, but no, Tony was calm, and the players reacted in the best possible way, particularly when we were 2-1 down and came back with 2-2. Could have actually stole it at the end. Callum Ferguson had a chance to win the game, but it sort of hit the side of the post. But look, it's a must-win game this week for us against Clifton Hill.
Yeah, before we talk about this week's game at Clifton Hill, it's Mackenzie Roach, 2 goals in 2 games, the Canadian import. Tell us a bit more about him. He seems to be a really, really good find. And how did you manage to get him to the
club? There's a soccer agent that I know quite well in the UK, and he will send over 30 or 40 different videos of players. Mackenzie caught the eye with myself and the coach and staff, and also good old Joey G. Mackenzie played at a high level in Canada, and also in the US, in the 4th tier in the US. Great skills. It took a little bit of time to adjust to the game in Australia, but I think we're pretty confident he's going to hopefully score quite a number of goals. If we can get into the double digits, so I'll be more than happy. And the other new player coming into the side, Corio Gabriel, has been a fantastic find. A lovely young kid. Can't speak highly of him.
How'd you get him as well to the club? Yeah.
Chol trialled at a lot of clubs at MPL level and also State 1 levels, and got rejected by a few clubs. He contacted me personally, and I said, "Look, we've already got our senior squad full, but you're quite welcome to train for the reserves." Trained with the reserves, trained well, came to the senior side and did a fantastic job, particularly in the FA Cup. Scored 2 goals, and is now he provided the 2 assists on the weekend. Fantastic young talent. There is talent out there. We've just got to find it. And he's a great kid. I can't speak highly of him.
Yeah, he sounds like a fantastic pickup. And when he's on the ball, he sounds like an electrifying player as well. How do you handle it on match day, Mario? Do you get a little bit excited around the technical area there, just hanging out behind the coaches? Or do you try and keep you cool and be a cool and calm president?
No, I'm very passionate. I probably get up and down the sidelines. I probably do about 10 Ks up and down the sidelines and
turn the Garmin on.
Yeah, but it's great. And even my good old mate Santino's enjoying coming up with me to watch the games, and he's enjoying it more than the A-League. So no, it's great. It's been great, some great action in the last 2 weeks for us. Yeah, it's really exciting stuff.
Yeah. Let's turn our attention to this week's game. Hume Reserve is still the construction site at the moment. There's a lot of exciting things happening around Hume Reserve, but unfortunately, the facility won't be ready in time for this week's game. We're going to have a look at the facility there, and there we've got some of the. We'll just have a view of that. Some of the photos. There's some footage there provided by yourself, so thank you very much for that. It looks really, really exciting. But for this week, the change rooms will be in the actual club rooms, the Hungarian Social Club rooms. Is that right?
Yes. Well, we've set up some petitions in the old club rooms. Thankfully, Clifton Hill FC have said yes to temporary change rooms in the club rooms. Look, we're patient. I'll be more than happy and be patient to wait for the new club rooms to be ready. They were meant to be ready by this weekend. Then it's mid-April. Look, it's probably going to be a little bit longer than that. We're probably looking for our opening game with the new club rooms in front of the pitch 2, as we call it now. But it will become pitch 1. That'll be open for the April 30th game, 5:30 p.m. against Georgie's. Caroline Spring Georgie's. So what better way to open up new facilities?
Absolutely. And I'm sure they will bring a lot of supporters down. They're a big club, and I'm sure they're going to bring a lot of supporters down, and they travel very well. They brought quite a fair few supporters the other nights on a Sunday night down to Lara United when they played in the Nike FC Cup game. What round is that? That's going to be the round?
Round 6.
Round 6, yep. So something to put down in your diaries. Round 6, likely to be the first proper home game or first home game in front of the brand new facilities. And look, even now you can see it is just going to be so different to what everyone's been used to down at Hume Reserve. But even that viewing deck's just elevated. It looks, there's the view from that viewing deck. It just looks absolutely fantastic. Mate, you must be really excited when all is said and done. I think I even ran into you on your birthday down at Hume Reserve, and you were checking out the facilities, and I said to you, "What are you doing? It's your birthday." He said, "This is my birthday present." So you must be feeling really excited about the developments that are happening down at Hume Reserve after so many years of pushing and lobbying and working behind the scenes.
Yeah. Look, I can't speak more than highly of the City of Greater Geelong. They've helped me through the process. So it started 4 years ago with the council officers to put through plans, then present them through to the high level with councillors and senior council officers. And look, it's exciting. And I guess the other thing which has been exciting is because of the presence of the new club rooms, it's also created an increase in juniors. So looks like we'll probably get up to about 180 juniors.
Wow. And how many did you have last year, just to put it into perspective?
We had 120, and a year before that we had 0. So we've climbed from 0 to 120 to 180 quite quickly in 2 years.
Yep.
And parents expect clubs to have good facilities now. So and these will be fantastic facilities. It'll be up there with one of the best in State 1. Change rooms, gymnasium, physio room. new clubhouse, kitchen, so and the viewing deck. Even though it's behind the goal, the viewing from behind the goal, you feel like you're right on top of the action there with the viewing deck. So and also council providing us with new fencing behind all 4 goals there at pitch 1 and pitch 2 at Hume Reserve.
Yep.
So it's exciting, but more than exciting, it's just fantastic when I do arrive for senior training and you see the juniors taking up both pitches as well as Geelong Galaxy as well. So the partnership with Galaxy is going quite well.
Tell us about that. Galaxy have made the move from Stead Park. They've come to Hume Reserve. We've even seen they've got new kits. Things are. It just seems to be a whole new renaissance happening at Hume Reserve, not just for Corio Soccer Club, but also now for the co-tenants Galaxy as well.
Yeah. Oh, look, I've always considered. I believe it is Hume Reserve is the heart of Geelong soccer. It was back in the day. When North Geelong was part of Hume Reserve. In some ways, I probably wish they were still there because, in fact, we probably would have had 6 pitches if North Geelong was involved in Hume Reserve. People probably don't know, but the car wash in Vallara used to have soccer pitches there, and there used to be more pitches behind next to pitch 3 there at the back there. So, I believe it is the heart of soccer in Geelong, and Galaxy have made the move. Look, I've known Branko for quite a long time, and we believe we'll have a good working relationship, and hopefully a lot of their games will be directly after our home games to create a little bit of a football experience at Hume Reserve.
Yeah, it sounds like an excellent idea as well. And I'm learning something as well tonight. I didn't know that there was pictures where the car wash is now. So that's
mate,
a good,
I tell you what,
history lesson as well.
Yeah, Steve, I was a junior there and used to come there on a weeknight. And as Mario says, there were 3 pitches. The 2 that are now and behind Valare where the car wash is. Plus, you then had the 2 pitches up the top near Barton Street. Now there's only 1, and then there was one behind where the bocce courts are now at the moment. Yeah, it was just incredible, and those were the days. I think it was Corio Geelong United. You had North Geelong training there. You had I think you had not sure if Corio Cloverdale came afterwards, but there was Espanyol, I think, was based there for at one stage. There's just clubs galore.
And people also forget that when North Geelong were playing Sunday League, their games against back then they were the Macedonian-backed, I think they were called Geelong West. They would have crowds over 1,000 people at those home games.
Yeah, unbelievable. Well, you might have crowds like that soon for those double headers when you run them back to back with the Galaxy games on Saturday evenings. Wouldn't that be good?
It would be really good. But, if we can get 200 to 300 would be fantastic. With one of our ex-players just donated a 85-inch LED TV. So
wow.
Yeah, so we're hoping to have a little bit of AFL footy or whatever, or A-League soccer on the big screen, and from the bar there. So we want to make it a little bit of a carnival sort of bar atmosphere.
Yeah. Or you could even have reruns of the Geelong Region Soccer Show on YouTube as well. These days we've got smart TVs. But, mate, we're talking about the renaissance of Hume Reserve and I guess the energy coming back to what is the spiritual home of soccer in Geelong's northern suburbs. You talked about the Corio Soccer Club, the juniors. It's just exploded. The sponsors seem to be like just a huge. That seems to be as well. Like this. Tell us a little bit about the sponsors as well.
Yeah,
there seems to be a lot of sponsors as well.
Yeah, look, I guess the plan was 4 years ago was to get promoted into State 1, and that basically does give us a bit more of an opportunity to promote ourselves to potential sponsors. Look, I've got to say, my offsider and junior coordinator and senior committee member Slavko Pantelic, he drives and will basically go hard for sponsors. We've been lucky in that respect. So we've got our 4 major sponsors. Our major sponsor now is Scope Australia. They're in Victoria Street, North Geelong. We've also got Avalon Airport, Viva Energy, the Gordon, and all the other subsidiary sponsors, there as well. Homehouse, Elephant Castle, Kafitza, Buxton's have been a long-standing sponsor of ours for a long time. The list goes on. Mav's Restaurant have been fantastic. Bay City Fisheries, Ritchie Brothers, so the list goes on. But Slavko, otherwise known as Salami, works hard.
The legendary Salami.
Yeah, get new sponsors to the club. And part of that is juniors. He's been able to get a large number of juniors to the club, and from that is a flow-on effect with getting new sponsors. So I'm sure Salami's listening. He's done a great job with increasing the juniors and for new sponsors. So, but it's important we maintain our position in State 1.
Yeah.
And hopefully in a few years, we know it's not going to happen this year. We just don't have the funds to fight for promotion at this stage. Yeah. But eventually we would like to get to NPL 3.
Some of the money that you're competing, or some of the clubs that you're competing with in State 1 that have got just exorbitant amount of money is just incredible. Like you hear some of the amounts of money that players are being recruited. It's just incredible. We're not going to throw figures out because
we can't.
We're just pulling numbers out and that sort of stuff. But it's just mind-boggling. But Steve, I'll tell you what. If we look at that list of sponsors, there's some really blue chip sponsors there, mate. I think the Geelong Footy Club would be happy with some of those sponsors.
Yeah, some of the biggest businesses in town listed there. It's a very impressive list. I was going to ask as well, Mario, how are we going with the numbers on the committee? Are we happy with where we're at the moment, and also the numbers of people we've got volunteering to come and coach all of those new juniors that are cropping up around the club?
Yeah, look, we've been lucky. A lot of our young players from the development squad have volunteered to help with junior coaching. Elton and Alex and Dylan, Thomas, young boys, all 17, 18 years old. They've been fantastic to helping us. And volunteers, look, every club wants more volunteers. I'm not going to say we've got plenty of volunteers. Everyone wants more volunteers. It's a difficult sort of position for every club. But hopefully with the new facility, new kitchen, new bar, hopefully we'll get more people helping in the kitchen. But everyone's in the same position. I'm not going to say that poor Corio everyone's needs more volunteers. Yeah. Hopefully it will come. I'm confident it will come.
I'm sure it will. And I can't wait to get to the ground. And even if the weather is ordinary come June and July, we can be in there behind glass watching the action. With a cold drink or a hot drink maybe, but behind the glass, enjoying it from there. It's going to be fantastic and just an extra dimension to the spectacle that is Corio Soccer Club out at Hume Reserve. So much to look forward to, and I'm sure the numbers of spectators coming along will skyrocket when this happens, Tonchi.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing, because Corio is quite centrally located. Isn't it ironic, though? Corio Soccer Club located
it's quite
in Bell
easy
Park.
To get to, yes.
We've got Bell Park located in Batesford. We've got North Geelong located in Lara. You try explaining
locality
that to someone
shuffle.
who, they don't get it. But because Corio's home ground is there in the heart of Bell Park, you often see people from other clubs. I've gone there and I've seen people from Geelong, from North Geelong, from Geelong Rangers, Bell Park, when their teams aren't playing. I think there is no better place in Geelong than to come down to Hume Reserve and spend a Saturday afternoon there and watch that. So, and that all starts off this weekend with big game against Clifton Hill. And if we have a look at that ladder again, there we go. Clifton Hill, they've had a bit of an indifferent start to the season, 1 draw and 1 loss. They're in 10th position. So, it's almost like one of those, Mario, they call them 6-pointer games, isn't it? You know, you want to get away from the bottom trio, let's say, definitely the bottom relegation zone. But a win here would really catapult Corio up the ladder, possibly in the top 3, top 4.
Yeah, look, there's a possibility. Yeah, I've calculated every week, I guess, or every day. But yeah, if we win, we could basically jump up to 4th, 5th, or 6th. So it's important. And we've got the game tomorrow night. Look, the Australia Cup. Look, it's a great opportunity for some of the players who probably aren't getting a full game in the seniors to have a run. So we're resting a few players, but we're still going to put out a pretty good team. So a lot of players have got a bit to prove there. So
we're speaking, folks, with the president of Corio Soccer Club, MARIO GREGORIO. It's the club in focus for tonight. Mario, if you want to hang around, we're going to take a little bit of a promotional break, a commercial break. When we return, we'll bring on one of the stars of the senior team, Lorenzo Princigalli, and we'll talk about that Australia Cup game tomorrow, as well as other on-field activities. So, folks, don't go away. We'll be back shortly with the continuation of this Club in Focus segment on the Geelong Region Soccer Show. Welcome back to the Geelong Region Soccer Show. And yes, the Football Out West Show, one of our sister shows, Steve, that yourself and myself, along with Craig Filer, host on a Sunday evening. So that's something to look forward to. Now, Steve, it's time to welcome our next guest, who's going to be joining us three. Did you want to do the honours?
Let's do it. Let's welcome one of the heroes from Hume Reserve. Here he is on your camera here, LORENZO PRINCIGALLI. He missed out on the weekend, but he did play and score in round one. Here he is. Good evening to you, LORENZO. How are you going tonight?
Good evening, guys. Thank you for hosting me. I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Now, obviously, you missed the game on the weekend. Were you keeping tabs on the boys? Did you have the phone out to try and find out what the score was? Did you feel a bit tense not being able to be there?
Oh yeah, of course. I was really upsetting when I resulted positive and I had to do these 7 days of isolation. But yeah, I always have guys like Santino, Joey, outside the ground, ready to send me the score, update it, everything, pictures, selfie, everything.
Now, LORENZO, we've a couple of big games coming up this week. This week in the next 7 days. Let's start off with tomorrow's game. So tomorrow, the big game against Eltham Redbacks, and that's the Australia Cup. Now we've got Brenton Ray, good old Brenton Ray. He's like a correspondent. He's telling us all the news that's happening. He goes, Eltham also have had one draw and one loss, a -1 goal difference, having scored 4, conceded 5 in their opening 2 league matches. Obviously, they do we know much about them? Do we know what sort of style they play? Do we know, are they going to be resting some of their players, or what's the go with that?
Look, personally, I don't know. I don't know them as a team. I don't know the players. And I missed the previous training at Hume Reserve, so I'm pretty sure the coach KB spoke with the guys about this team.
Yep.
It's gonna be another game. From what I know, is they are a good side. They are a really good side. They always did well in the previous year. They haven't started with the right in the right way. Mm-hmm. But it's a cup game. As Mario said before, we're gonna try to give to everyone the opportunity to play. And it's gonna, of course, when you go, it can be cup game or like a league game. You always want to play for to win.
Yeah. All right, Mario. Well, if we can, we'll bring it up on screen, and there's the squad for tomorrow night's game against Eltham North. Kickoff there is at 7:45 p.m. Will there be regular score updates on the Corio Soccer Club Facebook page?
Yes, there will be. We'll get them. Awesome. As soon as goals are scored, they'll be updated on our Facebook page. And look, it's still a very strong squad there. It looks like hopefully Adrian Savinsky's son, Geordie Savinsky, will start tomorrow. And he's a great young talent. Plays exactly like his dad. He's got the swagger like his dad. And
does he?
if he's anywhere near goal, he'll ping at the goal. So we're expecting big things from Geordie this year.
Steve, let's go through that squad. And there are some very strong players there as well. So even though there's a few youngsters there, it's still nonetheless quite a squad of substance. But go through that squad, Steve.
Oh, look, there's some good names there, and we know Festim Almazi, he scored on the weekend, and as we mentioned, the Joel Gabriel, one of the good recruits we mentioned earlier. And look, there's a whole lot of good players there. I don't want to single anyone out, but we look forward to seeing how they go tomorrow night. Now, I believe this match will be played on a synthetic field. So are the boys ready to play on that different surface?
Yes, I'm sure they will. LORENZO, were you ready? We train every second week on a synthetic surface at the leisure time. So, I've seen LORENZO play very well on those synthetic surfaces.
Yep.
So, LORENZO, if you can score a couple, I'm sure Joe will be very happy.
Now, speaking of that, LORENZO, can you give us a recap of your goal 13 minutes into the game against Brimbank Stallions in round one?
Yeah, it was just I reckon it was a fortunate goal because it was from a free kick. Even if the free kick started well, it's been deflected by a defender and it went straight on the left angle of the post.
So it was
So it's a good goal, but you know, a little bit fortunate.
Well,
Now, are you itching? Yeah, are you itching to get back to it tomorrow and to make up for the weekend that was lost? And how what is the feeling of the boys? Are they really excited and looking forward to sort of progressing through to the next round? Because
of course,
will there be the only Geelong team left in the Australia Cup if you manage to do that?
No, I didn't know that. Yeah, no, I mean, as I was saying before, like we play for win every game, and this is a good chance for all of us to like get minutes on our leg, show to the coach that we can play on Saturday. Everyone's won the shirt of the first 11, so it will be a great opportunity for everyone to challenge themselves and be ready for Saturday.
Now, Lorenzo, can you tell us a little bit about your footballing journey that's led you from where you began your footballing story to playing at Hume Reserve with Corio?
Yeah. I arrived in Australia three years ago, and I started. I joined Mill Park Soccer Club because a friend of mine, Paul Schoolers, I already met him in the past, so he contacted me and he asked me to play for them for Mill Park. And in the same year, we've been playing against MARIO. That was the year that they won the league. Actually, they arrived second, but they get promoted. And yeah, like Joy that year, like contact me like every single day about telling me like if we get promoted, I want you to come and play for Corio. And he gave me the contact of Mario. So we've been speaking for a while. Then they got promoted. I joined them, and it was a really good. I believe that was a really good thing to do because even if I'm from Melbourne, so Geelong is a little bit far, but I like the team. I like the team straight away. Like nice people, nice guys. Like I felt like in a little family straight away. So that was good. And we haven't had the chance to play a full season because the first year we if I remember correctly, like we played the first FA Cup game and then the COVID happened, so we stopped. And last year we had the chance to do half season, which was great, but not completely.
And when you arrived in Australia as well, Lorenzo, was the football when you first become playing at Mill Park, was it what you expected, and how did it compare to your previous football experiences back in Italy?
Well, from what I can see, like Australian football is more physical. It's very physical. It's very it's all about fitness. In this category that I've been playing. While in Italy, we focus a lot on tactical and technical stuff. So, and
how do you cope with that when you come up against the physicality? And a lot of, this is something that a lot of imports experience at the A-League level and even the NPL level. But at the state league level, in particular, where it is, it's very, very physical. You just have to go out and watch one of these games, and it's certainly no place for the faint-hearted. How do you cope with that? How do you toughen up, so to speak?
Well, saying that in Italy just about tactical and technical means that no, of course we also do like physical training. We work on our fitness a lot, but I think comes after technical and tactical stuff.
Yep.
At the very start, I've been honest, I was surprised. I wasn't expect so like the league. At that time was the state 2 division 2 like to be like that tough, but it's soccer. Like strong tackle, tough game. It's been I always play this kind of game, even in Italy. Maybe here it's just a little bit more.
Yeah. And speaking of technique as well, we understand that you've got a good technique in the kitchen as well, because when Darcy Rapper suffered that horrible injury, which fortunately we understand that he has recovered from, you were on hand to make him an Italian tiramisu. Is that correct?
Yeah. That was a fun day. Maybe for me and for Darcy when he was eating the tiramisu, not for his injury. Yeah, since I arrived in Melbourne, I joined this. I signed myself in this pastry school, and I started to study to become as a pastry chef.
Oh wow!
So
is that right? Look at that. Mario, I think when you have the official opening of the Hume Reserve club rooms, I think Lorenzo should, make a couple of trays of a tiramisu. Steve, have I told you how much I love tiramisu?
He makes fantastic tiramisu.
That's magnificent.
Just on Lorenzo about physicality, he can dish it out. Don't you worry about that. And he's the fittest player in our team. He's just crazy about fitness. He will go for runs. He's a fitness fanatic, a gym fanatic. So. And that's a credit to Lorenzo as well as a player because he is super fit.
And Mario, do you find that sort of inspires some of the other players, particularly some of the younger players that are coming up through the ranks, that are being given an opportunity at Corio Soccer Club? Do you see their level of kind of commitment now going up a notch?
Well, yeah. I mean, if I was a player and I saw a guy, like Lorenzo, take off his shirt and all you can see is just shredded muscle everywhere, the guy is he's a fitness freak, and I guess that's what sets apart some of the great visa players that we've had at our club and the local players is the fitness levels of the international players is at another level. People should take note of what Lorenzo does to keep fit off the ground. He's always in the gym, always going for runs. It's a credit to him. And when Lorenzo did play for Mill Park against Corio, it was an important game. We won 4-3, and Lorenzo tore us apart on the wing that night. And I was driving home and I was swearing my head off because I couldn't believe we just won it. And if we had lost that game, it would have cost us promotion. And I said, and Joey, that guy on the wing, I want him at my club now, next year, and Joey started calling, Lorenzo nonstop.
Yeah, it's true.
Joey Giacomazzo, where are we? He's actually saying, look at this comment. This is in the comment section. 7 months of hard work for you, buddy. I'd do it again if I could. We might have to find out all the latest of how he's a very persistent young man, Joey G. And he prides himself on getting the man he wants when he wants to. So well done to all of you involved there, Lorenzo. Thank you for your time. I look forward to one day having a slice of that tiramisu and
just let me know when you come down.
Absolutely, and
sure.
and more to the point, we look forward to you tearing up other teams apart now that you're on Mario's team. So thank you once again for joining us, and all the best for tomorrow night, Lorenzo, and for the season ahead as well.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks,
good on you, and Mario as well. Thank you very much to you as well. Exciting times at Corio Soccer Club. We look forward to maybe even catching up with you later in the year and finding out all the updates and that those new club rooms, they look amazing.
No worries. Thank you.
Good on you. The Corio Soccer Club was our club in focus, and wow, what a great episode it was tonight, Steve. Really, really, really interesting insight into what is happening down at Corio Soccer Club.
Yeah, just seeing those pictures, you get a little bit excited, don't you? Because you can see the framework of what's going to be there, particularly those shots of the interior. It's going to be fantastic. So can't wait to get out there and see it once it's up and running. So, yeah, it's going to be very exciting. Yeah. But that brings us to the end of tonight's episode. Now, you did mention, is there any big fixtures coming up this weekend? Well, I can confirm that Surf Coast are hosting Bell Park this weekend down at Banyulwarri at 3:00. So That's always a huge game when Surf Coast and Bell Park battle it out in State 4.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there'll be a big crowd at Banyule Warrior for that one in particular.
We don't know what
on
the
weekend.
7-day forecast is, but I tell
I think
you
it's
what,
20 degrees on Saturday and sunny.
Perfect,
so
yeah.
There could
I'll
be a
tell you
slight
what, though.
southerly down there off Bass Strait, perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will
Always.
be. I'm sure it will be good conditions for the players.
Absolutely,
Though. Not
but
too
mate,
hot like yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. But I tell you what, we talk about physicality. When those two sides meet, you can always expect a real good, tough game. So
bumps and bruises after that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, big shout out to the Elephant and Castle. Get yourself down there for a meal, or just pop in and say hi to everyone down there. They are our sponsors for tonight, and as a result, we had the club focus on Corio Soccer Club. Next week, Anytime Fitness. Anytime Fitness are sponsoring next week's show. Thank you very much to Rob Panetta, talking about getting fit and talking about the gyms. They really hold a pride of place in our community. They have nominated Surf Coast, so we will find out all the latest there, and hopefully we might even get some footage from that Surf Coast versus Bell Park game. It would be fantastic.
Oh, be good.
Yeah, absolutely. And also news at hand, breaking news. This Wednesday night on the Corio Soccer Show podcast, which is the third member of our little stable, there is going to be a special feature on the North Geelong Senior Women's team, which has been promoted into State League 1 this year. So there'll be one of the coaches and possibly one of the players as well will be featured on that show this Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m.
Not one to miss.
Lots happening, mate. Absolutely heaps happening. Mate, that's it for me. That's it for us. Thank you for being a part of tonight's show, Steve. Have a lovely, lovely night, and we'll see you next Sunday for the Football Out West show. And in the meantime...
looking forward to that one. Looking forward to speaking to Anthony Limbrick from the Tasmanian coach over there in Wales for the second time lucky. Hopefully we'll get him on the air. It's going to be an Australian exclusive. Yeah, don't miss it. Next Sunday at 7.
Good on you, folks. Good night to everyone, and thank you once again for being a part of the Geelong Region Soccer Show. We really appreciate your company. Good night.
Good night.